Jake, don't
Sequoyah, our number 2, Toby Martin, number 3, William Rizecki, with number 8, Maddox Waller, and number 28, Will Williams. Your River Ridge Knight captain for tonight's game, number 7, Wyatt McCarty, number 9, Caleb Roper, number 32, Matthew Burnett, and number 36, Bryce Miley. The officials for tonight's game are referee Ricky Sears, umpire Kevin Osmond, linesman Fred Coffey, line judge John Beck, side judge James Bush, field judge Scott Rickey, PTO Brian Goff, and PTO Rodney Waddell. River Ridge will be kicking off the Sequoyah to start tonight's game.
It is a cool, crisp September night, and it's week 3 of region matchups, and we have a good one for you tonight. The 5-0 Sequoyah Chiefs looking to extend their win streak to 6 games and keep the season undefeated versus a River Ridge Knight team who's 4-1, already lost their first game in region, and they need to get back. They need to find themselves back into those region standings, and this is how they're going to do it. A win against a very high-ranked Sequoyah team, so we'll see what they can do tonight. I'm Jay Jara, your host, and I'm joined by my great friend, Maddox Stewart, as we come to you from the booth.
How's it going, Jake?
It's going great, and I'm very excited for some football tonight. And as I said, high-ranked matchups between two top teams. River Ridge is not necessarily high ranked due to any committees. They don't really have any high rankings from Georgia High School Football Association or Max Preps or anything, but the Sequoyah team, they have risen the ranks a lot. They started the season around 200, and pretty quickly they have risen the ranks, as now Max Preps, who is probably the lead in nation rankings, has Sequoyah at 103, 3 spots away from cracking that top 100, and that's when you start getting noticed. That's when all these tiny games and these tiny blowouts that the Chiefs have had start to get really important, and this River Ridge team wants to come out here and make a statement, maybe prove why they should be ranked a lot higher than they actually are. So we'll see what they can do tonight against a strong offense and a strong defense. The Chiefs are coming off of a huge win versus Sprayberry, 63-20. A lot of people thought that that game was going to go Sprayberry's way, and even if they didn't think it was going Sprayberry, they thought it would be close. And it wasn't really close. 7 touchdowns for Will Rajecki, 250 rushing yards. Those are the type of games that you see in a stat book and like, yeah, that's a legacy game right there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. 7 touchdowns, it doesn't matter where you are, who you are. That is ridiculous. That is just not something you see very often. So I'm expecting Will Rajecki to be the lead workhorse for this Sequoyah offense again.
As we'll open the kickoff here with Holden Campbell down on that far side, breaks tackles. He's crossed the 50 and gets brought down at the 40, but it's a great opening kickoff return as Holden Campbell has become a kickoff return specialist over the last few weeks. He had one taken back from a flag against Cherokee. He had a few good ones last week against Sprayberry, and he keeps doing it all. At the 40, the Chiefs open the drive in a very promising position, and we'll see this Sequoyah Chiefs offense led by Georgia High School Football Player of the Week, Will Rajecki, and of course quarterback Colby Martin, who has given this team all of the right leads into finding their 5-0 start. 1st and 10 to start the night. Handoff for Rajecki. Sorry, Martin throwing over the top, and it's caught for Jack Ripley. Brought down by a herd of River Ridge Knights, and he gets thrown down at the 10. It's Harry Redmond, the free safety, on that initial contact. But Kobe Martin, great option right there, pulls it away from Rajecki at the last possible second. I didn't even see it coming.
Oh yeah, me neither, Jake. And that's a great first play schemed up by the Sequoyah coaching staff. You know, we were talking about Will Rajecki coming off a big game, being that lead workhorse, and to scheme up a nice play action like that to start the game, beautiful.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you thought they were going to do. You thought, yeah, we're going to run with Rajecki on that first play. No, they don't. They throw it over the middle to Jack Ripley. Now they run it with Rajecki, as he breaks a few tackles, gets a few yards after contact, and gets inside the 5, setting up 2nd and goal.
Now, one thing you and me talked about is this River Ridge defense, they've been fairly solid against the run.
Yes, their run defense has been very well, but when it comes to Will Rajecki, I mean, how well can you really get your run defense?
Not very.
Against the guy who's averaging 180 yards per game and 9 yards per attempt. 9 yards per attempt. As they hand it off to Rajecki this time, he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and that run defense is starting to look like it might work a little bit here, and it's going to set up 3rd and goal.
That was just a great play from that defensive line, blowing up them offensive linemen up front. And, you know, another thing that we talked about a little bit coming into this game is everyone's expecting Will Rajecki to be that workhorse. But as we saw with the very first play of the game, that expectation can create some big opportunities for these receivers in Jack Ripley and Brooks Darling.
Yeah, over the top to Jack Ripley on that first play. I don't think a lot of these corners or safeties really expected that. And you give him the opportunity, Jack Ripley will make his plays. He leads the team in receiving yards per game with 63. And he's had a few touchdowns on the year so far. We'll see what they do here. It's Rajecki on the far side, and he's stopped. And it's 4th down.
You know, honestly, let's give a shout out to this River Ridge defense. Way to step up. You know, you give up the big play early, give up the big kick return, but They did a good job holding them there towards the goal line.
Yeah, a goal line stop on the first drive of the game. That's exactly what you want to see. If you're this River Ridge team, you know that this is going to be a challenging game when it comes to the score. The Chiefs have put up 48 points per game. They're one of the leading scorers in 5A. And this River Ridge team is going to need to get some stops. And taking 4 points off the board early will be a good start for them, as a perfect snap from 4-star long snapper Riley O'Neal. Leif Hansen drills the field goal, and we start off the night 3-0 Sequoyah. So just a little heads up for tonight. We are away. We're at River Ridge, and our setup is not necessarily ideal, so there might be a little bit of some power outages and some stream delays. Is that the word? No, stream errors. I'd say that's the better word. So if the stream does go down for a little bit, we will be working very, very fast to get it back up, and it'll hopefully be back up within minutes, as we have a great crew on the road with us tonight. So just keep in mind of any technical difficulties, and we'll try to keep it as clean as we can tonight. So a 3-minute drive opens the night for the Chiefs. They put 3 points up on the board, and Leif Hansen will kick off from the 40. He has been almost perfect so far this year on touchbacks. I don't know his exact percentage, but it is up there on touchback percentage. I mean, this ball should go way out, and yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. There's no chance of returning that one. So River Ridge will start the night at the 20, and we will see this offense led by junior quarterback Hunter Lockerman. He's had a pretty solid season as a junior. He was at the Georgia Tech game this weekend. 57% completion percentage, 751 total yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 rush touchdowns. He is a dual threat quarterback. He's not as much as we've seen the Chiefs play, especially against last week where we saw Jaden Duckett, where he tried to run a little bit but didn't really help him that much. We'll see if Lockerman can figure out how to run against the Sequoyah defense. They'll start the night off with a handoff up the middle, and that's a lot of space to work with all the way towards the house. It's Camden Cox. And River Ridge with an explosive first play to start the game.
And you know, that's just a great play from their offensive line. You know, that huge hole made right there in Sequoiah's defensive line, and we were talking about statements being made, and that's certainly one right there, Jake.
Yeah, Camden Cox leads the team in rush yards per game with 100, and he covered over half of that on the opening play. 80-yard rushing touchdown to the house, as River Ridge answered back quickly, and this is a 7-3 ball game. Just a few minutes into it. The extra point is good. It's Will Berry, the senior, putting that one through the uprights. And River Ridge have a great start to the night, and we will see the Sequoyah offense take the field again pretty quickly. They have a lot to learn from their first drive. What do you expect to see from them coming out on this one?
Well, you know, I would expect to see some more work in that passing attack. You know, you got to let your star quarterback and Kobe Martin sling the rock a little bit, because River Ridge, they're clearly coming out showing that they are going to try very hard to stop this run, and if they're able to continue to do that, it is going to be a very long night for Sequoyah.
Martin with a 65% passing completion rate on the season so far, 6 passing touchdowns. They've mainly been focused on that rush game, 23 rushing touchdowns and only 7 passing touchdowns. But when you have Wilbur Jecky, I mean, it's kind of hard not to rush the ball. But Colby Martin has done his job. He's found his passes. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in 5A, despite only having a 65%. He's had a few rough games. I think that Denmark game really took his tally off a little bit. And, I mean, he has I don't know when the last time he threw an interception was. I feel like it's been over a year.
I haven't seen him throw a pick this season that I can remember.
He's not thrown a pick this season, and I don't think he threw any last year. I can't remember any. And if he did, it was one or two. I mean, he knows his receivers. He's worked with this receiver group for so long. Jack Ripley came in not necessarily a little late, but him and Brooks have been working just as a unit for so long. He's good with passing outside of the backfield to Will Rejecki. And when he needs to, he can run as well.
Oh, yeah, those guys, they've all been together since, I think, even back to elementary school.
I think they played.
So that chemistry is just there.
Yeah, elementary school recess, these guys were slinging the rock around. We'll see what they can do on their second drive. Holden Campbell over on the sideline and doesn't get much yardage, but we'll mark him for 5, so 2nd and 5 it turns into. They'll send Holden Campbell out wide. Just Rejecki in the backfield. 3 receivers on our near side. Martin throwing over the middle. It was intended for Brooks Darling, but couldn't look up in time. And now again, it's 3rd and 5. 3rd down. And the Chiefs offense is not finding a start.
Once again, this River Ridge defensive line, they're just showing up and shutting out so far. I mean, the pressure that they're getting on the quarterback and the way they're able to blow up these plays before they can even really develop is just, they've looked solid through 2 drives so far.
Yeah, this offensive line is going to need to wake up a little bit. The Chiefs' offensive line have been one of the best in the state so far. I think just today they were nominated by the Peach Bowl for top offensive line of the state. I saw a post about that. And then a few other sources were nominating them for one of the top offensive lines as a timeout is called on Sequoyah. Oh, sorry, not timeout. They won't take a timeout. They'll just take the delay of game. So it's a 5-yard penalty. And now a 3rd and 5 turns into 3rd and 10. So a manageable play escapes the Chiefs' grasp, and now they have to throw long. Martin scanning the field. He tries to run out of the pocket. Flag on the play. He finds Will Rejecki on the near side. It's enough for a first as he shrugs defenders to the ground. And this flag could add a little bit more or take a lot away from the Chiefs. And you're going to look towards those offensive linemen. Maybe a holding or a face mask would be the ones that you look for. But my guess is it's going to be holding as the Chiefs are backing up just a little bit. As we'll hear from the head ref right here. And yep, holding on the Chiefs. So they complete the 3rd and 10. And now we'll have to retry it due to a holding. 3rd and 20.
And that's just such an unfortunate penalty for them right there, Jake. You know, they've been obviously struggling a little bit to get the legs going so far, and you make a big play like that. Colby Martin understanding the pressure, getting out of the pocket, making something happen, and all overturned by the penalty on the offense.
Yeah, it hurts to see that play taken away, and they're going to have to come up with something even bigger this time. Receiver in motion, that is Darling. Martin trying to find an option over the middle to Ripley and picked off. River Ridge pick 6. Andrew Rowe, the 6-foot junior, takes Colby Martin's first interception of the season, and I might have to blame that one on myself for that commentator's jinx earlier.
Maybe just a little bit, Jake, maybe just a little. Sequoyah just off to a rough start here so far. Hoping to turn it around.
13-3 as River Ridge making a statement early on. The Chiefs are going to need to turn something around pretty quickly, as we'll see them take the field in just a moment. But this is a lot more than the Chiefs have given up averagely. They're giving up about 4 points per quarter, 4 points per first quarter this season. And River Ridge are 10 over it. After an 80-yard rushing touchdown and a pick six, the Chiefs offense takes the field once again looking to make something happen. Late here. And it'll be him and Rajecki in the backfield. They're going to need another good return. Left to go in the first as we kick off again for the Chiefs' third drive. This one, Will Rajecki in the back. He's got a lot of space to go. Crosses over the 40. Gets his first set of contact and is brought down at the 50. And it's another good opening spot for the Chiefs as they start another drive on, they're not on the River Ridge side of the field. They're at the 49. So close to the River Ridge side is where they'll start. And we'll see what changes this side makes.
You know, hopefully they can really get it going here. But, hey, special teams look pretty good. That's 2 big kick returns now. Every time they've had the opportunity, they've made the opportunity happen.
2 receivers near side. That's Jack Ripley and Brooks Darling. Handoff for Rajecki towards the far side and is brought down after a gain of 1. So on to the River Ridge side of the field. 2nd and 9 is what we'll have.
You know, that River Ridge defense, they're employing that strategy we see oh so often in every level of the sport. If they have a star running back, you do what you can to shut down that elite running back. You know, I'm thinking back to Boise State, Penn State playoffs last year. Ashton Genty, he had a rough night that night in that playoff game.
Yeah, when you plan for somebody so much, he's eventually got to be stopped. And I'm thinking that this past game might be the way that the Chiefs can turn something around as Martin throws out wide to Darling, and he's out enough for a first. Thrown out of bounds by Harry Redmond. The senior free safety can't prevent the first down. So it sets up 1st and 10 at the 41. Brooks in a one-on-one coverage on that far side. Instead is a counter. Martin can't find anywhere to go. Spins out and is brought down. Second and 19 now as the trick play doesn't get going. Brooks couldn't escape up on that far side, close to it. Brooks gonna set up 2nd and long. Martin throws over to Darling, and he's got a lot of space on this near side. He gets right out of bounds at a flag on the play there. Oh, it could be on Andrew Rowe. And it might be a late hit out of bounds there. That's the only thing I can see, unless Brooks might have grabbed his face mask, but that should be on River Ridge. Here's the call from the ref, and they're waving the flag. So no flag on the play. Brooks will keep his reception though, so they'll set up the 2nd and 7.
And that's just a well-designed play there to get your wide receiver free underneath like that, get some separation, get some space, and let him work the open field. Love to see plays like that.
Yeah, sorry about that. It is actually 3rd and 7. So we'll see what the Chiefs cook up here on 3rd down. Martin rolling out of the pocket. Finds his receiver near the sideline, and Brooks can't get towards it. And it sets up 4th down again. Chiefs in no man's land here, so we'll see if they decide to go for it. And I don't see why not. And the Chiefs are going to keep their offense on the field. There's a huge 4th down early in the 1st. Martin over the middle. He finds Maddox Waller for a 1st down. The trusty tight end, Sanford commit Maddox Waller moves the chains for a 1st and keeps this drive going.
And, you know, what I love about the tight end position, it's evolving. It's totally evolving right now. And Maddox Waller, I think, is a prime example of the evolution of the tight end position. Because, you know, he's built more like a wide receiver, but they're using him in the tight end position, and he can block, he can catch, he can run you over. He's just a do-it-all guy.
I'm just going to say, go ahead and shout out your boy Tucker Kraft. So,
that is Tucker Kraft, bro.
Tucker
I didn't know he
Kraft
played
out
for
there.
Sequoyah.
Another big reception there from Waller. He's had a few of those so far this season. Been one of the more solid options out wide, especially on those more longer plays, as a great run there from Braden Wilbur. Waller getting his 6th reception on that one and crossing over into 100 yards on the season. And Wilbur with a nice 6-yard rush sets up 2nd and 4. The Chiefs offense finally starting to get going here, and it's at a great time. Darling and Ripley on the far side, sorry. And the snap behind Martin, he goes under it. Hansen has only missed 1 field goal so far on the season, as he gets his 6th made so far on the season and breaks his long. All right, I just got word that we were down after that kick there, but Leif Hansen drilled a 49-yard field goal as he makes what would be his 6th field goal made of the season, and the Chiefs put 3 back up on the board, and it's 14-6 as we close or get close to closing out the 1st quarter with 1:52. Leif Hansen breaking his season long, was previously 40 and now up to 49 yards.
And that really is just such a deep kick for a high school football player. You really just don't see that very often.
No, you don't at all. I mean, you see even pros miss that kick a bunch. I mean, Youngwei Koo missed that one just a few weeks ago. If you're a Falcons fan, I forgot we're in Georgia and that most people are Falcons fans. Sorry to, if you are a Falcons fan, and I just brought you a little bit of pain.
No, I'm not even a Falcons fan, and it's still sad for me to see him go.
Maybe Leif Hansen will replace him. Get called up to the pros. Local guy. Don't they got like local roster spots or something they can work with?
If they don't, they should.
Yeah.
Be a nice addition to the NFL.
The defense flipping around. Last time we saw this River Ridge offense, they had a huge 80-yard run, and this time Camden Cox brought down only after getting about 3 yards.
That's the safety number 7, Carson Berry, stepping up and making the big tackle.
Yeah, Berry's been one of these solid players on this defense so far this year. Is 3rd in total tackles, has 16 so far on the season in just solo tackles, sorry. and has been a leader on the defense side of the ball, as you can see, playing that strong safety position. Predicting a run again, and this time he's stuffed after a gain of about 5. That was Micah Pugh, the second leading rusher on this team. And him and Camden Cox mainly split their attempts, 65 attempts on the season for Cox, and then Micah Pugh has 50. So a pretty evenly split running back room. And you see that a lot. We saw that a lot with the Chiefs last year with Ian Mariah and Will Rajecki, who split a lot of those stakes, and that's really what got Will Rajecki a lot of those yards. He had that extra break, but they're keeping both RBs, and that ball's on the ground. Lockerman has to run around, and he can't escape, and is brought back for a loss.
And that was number 0, Michael Fountain, on the sack, and such a good play to read the quarterback and wrap him up and bring him down.
Fountain with his 3rd sack now of the season moves up tied into 2nd place on total for the team. And it's a great play to force a 3 and out. If they do move into the punt formation here, which they should, or will actually take a break for the end of the first quarter, so they'll have a little bit of time to think about what they want to go for, but we'll probably end up punting that one away. But as we end the first, 14-6, River Ridge is up. And a lot of explosive plays there from River Ridge, but the Chiefs getting back in the right mojo, especially what we saw in that last drive.
Oh, 100%. You know, they're starting to create some nice plays, some big plays that are coming at really good times. They're cleaning up some of the issues we've seen. And, I know it's been said several times, but Hansen with that 49-yard field goal.
Yeah, Leif has been he wasn't going to retract my word right there. Came onto the scene last year. I don't think he had ever really kicked a football. I know him and Caleb McClure worked a lot last year after soccer practices, and Leif took a liking to it. He took up the gig, and he's got a leg, and went to a few training camps over the summer. He got his ranking, and I think it was 3rd in the country on his record. 5-star kicker, yeah. It is a ridiculous for a guy who just picked up kicking barely over a year ago. And just to see the progress he's had so far, already drilling 49-yarders as a junior.
And, earning all 5 of those stars after 1 year.
Yeah, it is a ridiculous stat there for Leif. Might have a little bit more work to do on the rest of the night. But we enter the second, 14-6. This has been statistically the Chiefs' strongest quarter. They scored about 18 points in the second so far this year. River Ridge, their second quarter has also been their strongest offensively, putting up about 2 touchdowns per second quarter. So we'll see how much that really impacts both sides of the ball. The Chiefs' defense has been, again, solid in the second as well. I mean, it's kind of hard to average out 2 shutouts and get a decent number. So when you see 2.8 points per second quarter this season, it's like, oh, well, how did you score 2.8 points? I don't think there hasn't been a safety yet, so. River Ridge in punt formation. That's Will Berry back there on the punt. That one is up, and it's a great punt there. Going to hit exactly on the 50 and roll back. It could have had a nice bounce, but takes a Chiefs bounce back over towards the 45, and we'll see the Georgia High School Football Player of the Week back out on the field. Chiefs only down 1 score. They want to go for 2 points. So we'll see what they decide to cook up on this drive. 1st and 10 from the 45. We've seen this formation a lot tonight. On that far side, you have Darling and Ripley. And then, of course, the man Will Rajecki in that backfield. Ref's just taking a minute here to make sure everything's in order. Campbell and Rajecki flip sides. Snap, Rajecki, handoff, cuts back over in towards the middle of the field, and he's breaking more tackles, grabs the first, crosses the 30, and Real Rajecki gets his first big play of the night.
It's really glad to see that knee issue wasn't anything serious from Rajecki there, and like Jake was saying, coming out making his first real big impact play of the night. And you see number 10, Holden Campbell, him and Rajecki's flipping sides, and Campbell with a huge block to really create that play for Rajecki.
Yeah, that fullback position has been really what Holden has thrived on this year, and that blocking that he has produced has been very well for the Sequoyah team. And that ball is on the ground, and it's picked up by River Ridge. The Chiefs try a fancy play. It doesn't go their way, and River Ridge get the ball back. Chiefs forced a 3-and-out on their last drive. We'll see if they can do it again. The defense being called on heavily so far tonight. And once again being called on. And Benji Smith is back up in the lineup tonight. He wasn't playing last week. Jedediah Marshall took his spot, and he had himself a 98-yard pick six. But Benji Smith reprises his role as they'll hand it off. Or sorry, it'll be a QB keeper, and he is thrown down on that far side. Lockerman tricks me from all the way up in the press box. As there's Jedediah Marshall again, as he is slamming down Drew Lockerman. Marshall worked his way up into getting more and more reps, and it's being a lot harder to take him out of this starting lineup and just take him out in general. He's been ridiculous in these last few games. This is a low snap, again handed off to Pugh. He gets a little bit of yardage there, and it's going to set up a 3rd and short as they run the ball up the middle.
You know, Sequoia's defense so far, they've looked pretty solid. They're swarming to the ball quickly, flying to the football, being aggressive out there.
Yeah, after that first play where Camden Cox broke out for 80 yards.
You know, it happens, but their defense has really done a nice job just kind of letting it go and focusing on the game.
Especially recovering from that as they make another defensive stop. That's Drew Williams on that initial contact, and it's going to set up 4th and short. River Ridge won't risk anything as the punt team will come back on for back-to-back drives as the Chiefs defense gets something started here. Good to see consecutive 3-and-outs. Oh, sorry, they are, okay, I thought they might have gone for it there. We're lining up like they were about to go for it, but the result back up into punt formation. Will Berry in the back for the punt. The Chiefs in heavy punt block formation. And Will Berry taking a little bit of time, and 4 Chiefs swarming him, but just a little short. Darling calls for the fair catch, and they'll take it at the 21 for the 4th drive for the Chiefs offense. As the defense makes another great stop.
This offense is taking the field again, and hopefully they can get a little more going this time.
Again, the same formation we've seen a bunch. It's Martin throwing towards the side, intended for Ripley, but just behind him a little bit. 2nd and 10. Ripley, 13 receptions so far this year. He's already had one tonight, go for about 20 yards. He gets another target there. Clock stopped at 8:54. Martin shotgun. Looking to throw over the middle. It's Ripley with a great catch. He stays up. Ripley has space. Brooke Darling trying to block, and he gets towards the 20, and it's a huge play for Jack Ripley.
And a big play. The passing protection was really good from this offensive line.
And it might get taken back to the flag all the way back near the original 20. We'll see what that's on, and it's on Sequoyah. And Jack Ripley's big play is taken back for a flag.
Bring the 8th graders with you.
A 5-yard penalty takes away Ripley's big play. 2nd and 15 now. It was a beautiful catch from Jack. Hauled it in great. Stayed up on his feet and ran for an extra 30 yards, but the flag takes it back. The Chiefs having to strike again now. They send Campbell out towards the side, but instead Darling across the middle. We've seen this play work just a few drives ago, and again, tackled out of bounds. We'll get a decent gain of about 7 there. It's going to set up 3rd and 6. And once again, River Ridge forcing another 3rd down. It's again troublesome territory. Chiefs with 3 receivers on our near side. Martin rolling out of the pocket. Great blocks. Throwing deep. Brooks Darling. And it's thrown just over his head. And it's 4th down. And the punt crew will be sent out.
You know, it didn't quite work that time, but it's nice to see them taking some shots downfield, and, you know, hopefully eventually they can connect on 1 or 2 of them. Like they did with Jack Ripley a few plays ago, that unfortunately did get called back.
Yeah, you see the moon ball, and it works well. It just a little bit too much on that one, and results in a forced punt. No fair catch call. He acts like he takes the fair catch, and it's a huge block. 2 flags on the play. And it's Case and Gant who eventually takes down Andrew Rowe. But that's got to be a blindside block on Miles Leslie. You just cannot take that hit. Refs just taking a little bit of time here to discuss. There's 2 flags out there. I'm going to guess for that same penalty. Oh, there's a 3rd as well. I didn't even see the 3rd one.
Me neither. And the hit was on number 28, Drew Williams for Sequoyah, and you know, you saw him take his helmet off and shake his head a little bit, but he seems like he's doing okay. Helmet back on now, getting ready for the next play. But hits like that can definitely be a little concerning.
Going to be, it will be a River Ridge penalty, 15-yard penalty, blindside block there. So a very promising kick return now taken back from River Ridge. They'll set up at the 47-yard line. Chain Gang struggling to get into their position. There finally sets a low snap. Ball's on the ground, and the Chiefs recover. Chiefs recover the ball. Drew Williams, ball does not lie. And there's a flag.
You know, just another prime example of this defense going out and doing what they do best.
It's an unsportsmanlike conduct on Sequoyah, but it doesn't matter. Drew Williams grabs the forced fumble. Ball does not lie, as they say.
It does not. And, you know, how about that from Drew Williams, taking the blindside block literally the play before, then recovered a fumble? Love to see it.
7:50 left in the second. Sequoyah offense back out on the field after their punt. Only one play after making a punt of their own and brought back for that blindside block. Now we'll see this offense again, getting better over the course of the night. One score down, designed run from Martin, and he is piled up on pretty quickly, not after gaining about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
All right, come on, Wins. Hey, come with us, please. We want to hang out with you. Come on.
Martin again designed quarterback run. Over on towards the far side, wrapped up quickly, but flag. And that's got to be a holding on that far side on Gabrielle Belback. If it's what it looked like, Belback was, or sorry, Alex Brewer might have been holding Belback. Yep, that's what they're going to say. So penalty on Sequoyah instead of River Ridge. Yeah. Setback of that last run there from Martin. Perhaps just trying to get everything squared away here.
Grab that as a 5.
That can't have been a holding, 'cause that's a 15-yard
There's a
penalty.
15-yard penalty.
Did you see the call? Well, it must
I
have
did
been
not see
it
the
must have been
call.
unsportsmanlike conduct then. So just getting word that blocking on the backside too far away from the play. So 2nd and very long now for the Chiefs. Martin over the middle. He finds Darling, and he gets back the penalty yardage, and we'll set up 3rd and about 8 as the clock still moves. Refs calling a stoppage of play. Looks to be a timeout call, or sorry, injured player. Officials timeout there, as we'll take a break with 6 minutes left to go in the second. A great play over the middle towards Brooks Darling, and you get yourself back up into this drive.
Oh, absolutely. And it's, you know, a nice play to see after the big penalty called. And Brooks Darling on those hitch routes out of the slot, they've just been efficient and they've worked well all year.
Yeah, he's been able to find Brooks starting a lot. That would be his 13th reception on the night. He's 4 so far tonight, as he has been having himself a pretty solid season, both on both sides of the ball, wide receiver and as a DB. He is second in receiving yards per game and first in interceptions. So it's a pretty solid season from him so far, halfway through. As we're about to come back here from injury timeout. It's 3rd and 7. Chiefs need another big play on 3rd down. A lot of players in that box for River Ridge. Martin rolling out. He finds his man, and Ripley slips up. No flag. And it sets up 4th down. And we'll see Leif Hansen come back out for his 2nd consecutive punt. Riley O'Neal, the long snapper. Hansen sets a punt. Low snap, but gets to Hansen. He gets the kickoff, and it's a bit scuffed. And it's going to take a horizontal roll.
Looks like the low snap might have just messed him up a little there.
So River Ridge will start the drive from the 49-yard line, just short. Looks to be there is a flag on that far side down there. We'll see if this is about anything or if there's an accidental flag throw. But ref's talking it over. Pointing over towards the flag now. It's up at the 45, River Ridge's 45-yard line. And here comes the head ref. And it's on Sequoyah again. And it's more penalty yardage that just keeps adding up.
It is unfortunate for Sequoyah for sure, and they've given up probably around 30 to 40 penalty yards in their last 2 offensive drives alone.
Yeah, it's not the type of number you want to see. The coach is still trying to figure out what the ref really saw there. But it doesn't matter. A 10-yard penalty brings the Knights into Sequoyah territory at the 41-yard line. So 1st and 10. Not a lot of time left here. It's a handoff to Camden Cox, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. So it remains 2nd and 10. Hudson McCoy running onto that field late there. As we see Arden Redmond come over towards our near side, thinking he was going to be brought off. But nope, that's River Ridge's leading receiver so far. They're looking towards the corner for him. Redmond out of reach. Benji Smith, great job on the one-on-one coverage and forced his third down and an incompletion. So the clock stops. And 5:03, one play left to go. The Chiefs offense might be able to get back out here.
And that would be ideal. That is a really nice time for the defense to force an incompletion, get the clock to stop, preserve as much time as you can for your offense.
And it's a jump on the offensive side. It's Saucebitter. And a 3rd and 10 turns into 3rd and 5. River Ridge now in a better position. For their 3rd down. At the 36. 2 backs in the backfield. It's handed off to Cox, and he runs up the left side of the field, and he grabs the first. And he gets the clock moving again. Moves the chains for a first. And he takes a little bit more time off the clock. And same formation. 3 receivers, 2 backs. River Ridge not trying to play clock management, and that's Camden Cox in the backfield again. And he's going to get marked for a loss. It's like a loss of about maybe a half a yard, maybe 1. But it's still 2nd and 11, they'll say. Just a good job grabbing Camden Cox pretty quickly, making sure doesn't get any more yardage. Clock still moving. We're closing into the final 4 minutes of the half, and it's Lockerman throwing on the run out to Pugh, and he's brought down, but not after crossing the 25-yard line. Sets up at the 24.
Nice open field tackle by number 11 on Sequoyah there.
Yeah, that's Asa Goings, the Kings Academy transfer, who's been one of the standout players so far this season. Had a pick last week against Sprayberry. Again, 3 backs. Lockerman, handoff Pugh. And they'll give him enough for the first, so the clock ticks still. And it's 1st down.
And this is where some of that danger we were talking about with the River Ridge running games really starts to, take effect here, because they're consistently running these 3 running backfield formations, and you just never know who it's going to because they're all 3 really talented running backs.
Yeah, their rush game has been the main staple point so far tonight. Not many passing opportunities, and that's kind of been the trend so far this year. Their rush game averages about 33 more yards per game than their pass. As again, handoff, Camden Cox. He can't be brought down as he goes into the end zone to extend the score for River Ridge. It is 20-6, with 2:52 to play. Again, Camden Cox, elusiveness in that backfield. 2 touchdowns so far tonight, and he crosses way over into 100 yards. He's having himself a great game. The Chiefs are going to have to answer back quickly if they want to go into halftime with another score, as Will Berry comes back up towards the center for the extra point.
2:52 on the clock is plenty of time to play around with for the Sequoyah offense, and hopefully they'll be able to get in the end zone before the halftime starts.
Yeah, just a little bit of help to get this Chiefs team going back up in the right direction. Chiefs return crew heading back out. Will Rejecki not in this formation. It's Joseph Usensei and Holden Campbell. The Chiefs are going to have a nice 2-minute drive. 2:52 until half. The score will put the Chiefs back into a good position as this one is out of the back of the end zone. It will be taken at the 20. As the Chiefs to start their 6th drive. Handed off to Will, and he can't get much on it. We'll get about 2 yards. It will make it 2nd and 8 as the clock continuing to go. Martin rolling out of the pocket, trying to find his option, and it's again just behind Jack Ripley. Stops the clock. And it's now 3rd and 8. Again, the Chiefs in need of a big play. Who will they look to this time? Martin shotgun, looking at his options, has to run, throws it over the top for Maddox Waller. And he gets the yardage for a first, and he's still going. Drags about 3 defenders 5 yards. And the Chiefs in hurry up, 2:07, the final 2 minutes of the half. Chiefs got to go quick. They still have 3 of their timeouts, but they don't want to waste any just yet. Maddox Waller with his 2nd reception of the night. Adds to about 40 yards. Martin, handoff for Jecki. Brought down after about 5, but it's a good start.
And on that Maddox Waller play, that's just a tight end understanding that his quarterback's in a little bit of trouble, needs a little help.
Yeah, always great to look at that tight end position that you said, as you said earlier, it's adapting. It's becoming a lot more receiver based, especially teams like in the NFL with the Raiders.
And who can forget Tucker Kraft of the Green Bay Packers?
I knew you were going to say that.
No, you didn't.
Maddox Waller starting to show that dynamicy tonight. And now clock still ticking, 1:21. Martin, deep ball, far side. No flag. There was a little bit of contact on that far side from Eli Bolden, but not enough to draw a penalty. And the deep shot falls short. Sets up 3rd and 6. They found Maddox Waller on the last 3rd down.
You know, these uncomfortable 3rd and long situations are becoming a growing theme here for the Sequoyah offense here early.
Martin in shotgun, fakes the pitch. A juke moves from Martin. He gets the first and out of bounds. And again, the Chiefs showing up on 3rd down. It's Martin this time, silencing the crowd here at River Ridge. On a big 3rd down, stops the clock at 1:04 and no timeout needed.
So while Sequoyah has been in those 3rd and long situations quite often, they've also been taking advantage of them and going out there and executing on those 3rd and longs and converting them into first downs and making key plays.
Yeah, River Ridge has been expecting those long pass plays on 3rd down. And as you saw right there, Colby Martin escapes the pocket. He grabs the first. This time, rolling out again. We've seen this a lot. It's a deep ball to the corner. Knocked out of bounds. And again, no flag. It's Brooks Darling trying to call for one, but no contact deemed illegal.
You know, one thing we do know about Brooks is eventually you take enough deep shots, one of them's going to connect. So, you know, respect to the coaches for calling those plays and Colby for taking those shots downfield.
Yeah, just the trust that they have in Brooks Darling in making those catches, as a timeout called for River Ridge. So this will give Sequoyah just a little bit of time here to regroup and figure out what the play they really want. It's 2nd and 10. You're down 15, closing into halftime. If you can get a score, you're not necessarily golden, but if your defense can show up like they've been and get a turnover, as River Ridge will start the second half with the ball, you can get yourself back into this one. But the Chiefs got to make something happen here. 2nd and 10, both teams coming out after the timeout. Ball's on our near side, and it's 2nd and 10. Rajecki thrown out wide. No running backs. Martin going to be forced to throw here. He escapes the pocket instead. Makes a few juke moves, and he gets across for a first. It might just be a few inches short, and it will be. So it's going to be 3rd and inches, and Sequoyah forced to call their first timeout. And we brought down to 2 after Martin's 9-yard run. Or actually, that was a 10-yard run right there, just a little bit short.
3rd and inches, but hey, you know, better a 3rd and inches than get another 3rd and long situation.
Exactly.
But Sequoiah's been putting together a very nice drive so far.
Yeah, started at 2:52. Clock management has been superb. And closing in on the red zone here. You could try a run play with Rajecki here and just grab the first and call your timeout, or you could take a shot maybe at the end zone and then test it on 4th down. There's a lot of options that Coach Jackmine can do here. I don't know really what the best solution would be.
Yeah, and you know, with 2nd and short, 3rd and short, those are your best opportunities to take a deep shot down the field, because especially when you have a running back like Rajecki that you have a lot of faith in to go pick you up a yard or two, I would not be surprised to see a deep shot here, Jake.
But still, a third and short is what we're working with. So we'll see what Jackmine cooks up. 47 seconds to go. 3rd and very, very short. It's a handoff to Rajecki, and he breaks multiple tackles, and he gets way well past the first, adding to his average of 9 yards per carry. They'll let the clock run. They won't call one of their 2 remaining timeouts. They'll go and hurry up. It's a handoff to Wilbur, and he's brought back in the backfield, and now they'll take their timeout. And it turns into 2nd and 15. Miles Leslie, number 8 on that tackle for River Ridge. And Sequoyah is forced to take their 2nd timeout after they try to halfback stretch towards that far side.
River Ridge fans, let's give a shout out to our dynasty sponsor, Colby. Look at the burger at Colby. At the same time, take a little drive further down 92, right? You stop at Buffalo and grab some wings.
River Ridge are coming off of a win of their own as well. Last week they beat Pope 44-13, trying to turn it into a win streak. Lockerman didn't have to throw much, and same game trend tonight. He hasn't had to do much. He went 4 for 5, 158 yards, and Then Pugh and Camden Cox kind of took it over from there. 15 rush attempts from Camden, and then 9 from Pugh, with both a touchdown each. And that game trend has kind of continued tonight. We've seen a lot of running from them and not a lot of passes from Lockerman.
It is definitely the focal point of their offense for sure, but still 4 for 5 for 150 yards is kind of a ridiculous stat line.
Chiefs trying to get something going. 2nd and 15. Closing in on the red zone. Martin back over towards the far side. He has the catch and a great juke move.
Absolutely electrifying play from Wilbur-Jecki there. That was a disgusting juke move. Ankles broken for the touchdown.
That is the Wilbur-Jecki special right there. Sends the guy flying into the sideline and puts 6 more up on the board. And you get that score that Sequoyah really needed. 11 seconds, they drain out entirety of the clock. And Martin, or sorry, that's Wilbur-Jecki. It's a bad snap, but it doesn't matter. He plows himself in towards the end zone. The 2-point is good. River Ridge caught off guard, and is a 7-point ball game. So Leif Hansen's 2 field goals to start the first half are now paired up nice with a Wilbur-Jecki reception touchdown there and a 2-point conversion, direct snap to him, Wildcat formation. You gotta love to see it.
You do love to see it. Love me some Wildcat.
So 11 seconds. There's not much time for River Ridge to do anything. They're going to probably try to let this one go to the back of the end zone, but I'm guessing Hansen is going to try to make this one receivable, maybe a squib kick. We'd love to see a squib kick here from Hansen. Force just a little bit of that time to run out. Maybe the Pat McAfee special.
I do love me some Pat McAfee.
A little tap, and you go get the ball yourself, and then you take another deep shot. We'll see what Hansen decides to do. He launches this one towards the back of the end zone. That is great placement. And they'll say he's at the back of the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. So close there from Leif Hansen for putting that one directly on the 1. But River Ridge have 11 seconds to make something work. I could just see them running this one out.
I wouldn't be surprised. No reason to try to risk anything here. You got a 7-point ball game. River Ridge gets first possession after halftime. So run it out, knee it out.
Yeah, a lot of the signs point towards just taking this quarter. Still very successful quarter there from River Ridge. But the Chiefs strike back late, make it a 7-point ball game with 11 seconds to go. Sorry, yeah, 11 seconds to go, make it a 7-point ball game. Is that what I said? I can't remember.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I'm losing track of words here.
You're all right, buddy.
1-point ball game, or 1-score ball game. Chiefs, they're on the comeback here.
They are, way to strike back late in the second quarter there, and we're excited to see what they've got coming up in the second half.
Yeah, this team talk is going to have to be good from Coach Teeter. He is going to want to get his boys pumped up, but we will step away for about 20 minutes for the band halftime performance. We'll be back with second half action here on Chiefs TV.
Tell them to zoom in on the championship ring ceremony. some reason we're not, we're good there, but we're not good here. So, oh, now we're good. We're back. Yeah, make sure, tell him to zoom in on the championship ring ceremony.
He's not up there right now.
embrace creativity. Hope will make you free. I am free.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners, River Oaks High School would like to thank Dr. Matthew Simmons for attending tonight's football game. Fans, River Ridge High School is partnering with the Georgia Athletic Directors Association to groove for St. Jude. Help us support St. Jude Children's Museum Hospital, where no family ever pays a bill. You can donate tonight on GoPay. Every dollar saves lives. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce our Dynasty sponsors. These are the highest level sponsors that River Ridge High School has. Culver's, Buffalo's, Dr. CPKR and Chick-fil-A. Please take care of our sponsors and visit and spend money with them.
Welcome back to River Ridge Stadium for second half action between the Sequoyah Chiefs and the River Ridge Knights. We are coming into a very, very important third quarter. 21-14, River Ridge leads. This is only the second time this year the Chiefs went into halftime at a deficit. Mueller's time week 1 against Denmark. And if you remember anything about that game, it was one of the most electric comebacks you have seen in a very, very long time. So the Chiefs are going to have to try to replicate that one here, this time in a hostile environment away at River Ridge.
And speaking of electricity, as we were saying, the first half concludes with a very electric play for a touchdown from Wewajecki. Hopefully the Chiefs can ride some of that momentum going forward.
Yeah, hopefully you were here for that touchdown. I mean, that juke move from Wewajecki was ridiculous.
Disgusting.
I
Oh,
mean, that was
ankles broken.
Yeah, that was not nice of Will. That was a great touchdown there, especially at a great time. They needed that. They needed something.
100%.
Going into that locker room, getting that last touchdown, that must have boosted the mojo so much. It had to have helped that locker room just a little bit. And now this defense is coming in at a great position. They kind of have the momentum right now. It shifted a little bit towards their favor. This defense is ready to make a play. They have been so strong tonight, only given up 3 touchdowns. One of them, first play of the game. We'll forget about that one. Another one, their River Ridge defensive score. And then Camden Cox had another 20-yard rushing touchdown. So,
and from this defense, when it hasn't been a touchdown, it's majoritively been 3 and outs.
Yeah, and punts. So we'll see as they start in a pretty bad spot as Sequoyah stuff the running back. Get about a 2-yard gain. As we get started here in the third quarter. The River Ridge Band had a great halftime show there. If you stayed for that one as they get back up in their seats on the home side where we're stationed. And another handoff, Camden Cox. And I don't know if there is a flag on the play. Looks like there is, because there's 2 of them. One on this near side here. Don't know if the cameras show it. And one on the far side. It's going to be a false start on the offense. So this will take them back 5 yards. Put the Chiefs defense in a little better position here. A lot of penalties for both sides of the ball. Not as much as we saw during that Sprayberry game last week, but still a little bit more than usual.
It has been a fairly messy game from both sides, really. But, you know, hopefully both teams are looking to clean it up moving forward and play a more fair, balanced game with committing less penalty yardage.
Yeah, that penalty yardage has killed both sides of the ball. We'll see what happens here. They're sending Pugh out on motion over the middle. That one. Drew Williams might have got a tip on that, but it's an incomplete pass. Sets up third down, and it's 3rd and long. Again, we've seen how well this defense can make these stops. We've seen it a bunch tonight. We've seen 4 punts and 1 forced fumble. And again, you're put into a position, 3rd and long, you got to throw over the top, and this secondary has been very strong for Sequoyah. Last week, 3 interceptions. We'll see what they can do here. Again, the 2 running back formation, they both run out. It's a screen pass over the middle, and he is hit hard. Nothing River Ridge can do about that one. And it's 4th down, the punt crew comes on, and the Chiefs make a great opening drive start. It's a 3 and out.
And, you know, number 11 there, that's Asa Goings, and he's a safety for the Chiefs. And just coming up and making those plays. We've seen him do it a couple times tonight and absolutely drilled their running back in the backfield there, forcing the 4th down and what's going to turn into a punt.
Yeah, Asa has been one of the strongest hitting players on this team. And just his defensive presence has been so important for this squad. Doesn't have many interceptions. He's got 1 so far on the season, as that is a great punt. Wewajecki back to return it. Great catch from him. He's going to take it a little bit. He'll try to cut around some corners, and he'll get back over to the 50. where they'll mark him down. But yeah, Asa Goings has been one of the standout players on this defense, and I won't be surprised if he starts getting some offers and some interest soon, as he is always awake on that field and always in that big play.
I mean, he keeps making tackles like that. I would offer him. He can come play for
Maddox University.
Maddox University. That is absolutely right.
That's the team that you want to be a part of.
We are going D1. We're elevating.
Yeah, you gotta start off from the bottom, and just every year you just keep getting bumped up. You just win the national championship, and they're forced to move you, because that's how good Maddox University will be if Asa Goings decides to go play for you.
Exactly. If you hear this, we want you.
It's 1st and 10 for Sequoyah, their first drive of the half. They ended last half with a great Will Rajecki touchdown, which we have harped on a lot so far. We'll see what they do this time. It's a handoff to the man, Will Rajecki, and he gets about 5 yards. Looks about 4 there. 2nd and 6. Gabriel Bellback on the tackle for River Ridge. He's been involved a lot tonight. Has drawn a few penalties for River Ridge. The Chiefs hustle to the line pretty quickly. Can you see that flip? And that's going to be a jump on the defensive side of the ball. It'll be a 5-yard gain for the offsides. And this is the spot you want to be in. 2nd and less than 1. We talked about this earlier.
We did. This is your opportunity to take a big shot. We've talked about how Brooks Starling has been open on some of the deep shots, and you keep trying to downfield. One of them's going to connect at some point.
You got to go for it. And it's 2nd and short. This is the time that you talk about. Instead, they go for Rajecki at the middle. They go for the safe route. They get the first.
Well, you can always take a deep shot on the 1st and 10, too. Good play there from Rajecki to pick up the first.
It gets you a reset of the downs.
Does.
After the penalty. Keeps the clock moving. And you're inside of River Ridge territory. And you're moving. No loss of yardage. No clock stoppages. Again, same formation. Instead of a throw from Martin, he hands it off to Rajecki, and he's making space for himself on that far side, and he gets the first. It's a 15-yard run there from Will. Moves the chains for a first. And you can finally start to hear the band on that Sequoyah side, as well as the student section getting into it. The Chiefs have a positive drive so far, and Martin takes a second to step back over towards the sideline. Might have called it an audible there. Handoff to Will over on the right side. Gets tripped up, but not after exploding for 8 yards.
Another good run from Will. He's been hitting them for, 6, 7, 8 yards this whole drive. And he's probably looking to keep that up. And after a slow start to the second half, he's coming out exploding here.
Again, Will Rajecki up the middle. Puts a man on his back. Moves the chains again for a first. And this River Ridge the River Ridge defense that was having a great time stopping him are now finding it a little bit harder. Rajecki's endurance is showing. And again, flipping that same formation that we keep seeing over and over again in favor of the strong side.
And you can see here River Ridge stacking the box.
Rajecki up the middle, and he's so close to the end zone. Not enough on that one. 2nd and goal from the 2. And they're just going to keep on hammering Will Rajecki here. No reason not to.
I see no reason not to. It's been working the whole drive so far. He's been picking up solid yardage every time you give him the ball, so why not trust him again?
And they're going to set up in a 3 running back formation. We'll see who they go to. A lot of options on that backfield. Can he cross into the end zone? No, they're marking him yards short. Not even yards, sorry, that's centimeters. We're switching units.
We are. I can get behind a second in centimeters.
It's 3rd down and very, very short. QB sneak from Martin. He's in the end zone, but the rest blew the play dead.
Yeah, Chiefs calling the brotherly shove there, and it looks from here anyway like he crossed the line.
Yeah, we'll wait on what the ref says here. Ball's going to stay in the same exact spot. It will stay 3rd down. I'm guessing one of the refs weren't in position. So they'll go again. 3 running back formation. Martin, handoff. Holden Campbell in the end zone. And it's 21-20. A defensive drive forced a turnover. Chiefs get the ball back and have a chance to tie this ball game up.
And that 3 running back formation for Sequoyah, much like for River Ridge, has been working effectively. That's been a very positive thing that they've had going for them, and that time it gets them 3 or 6 points.
Yeah, both sides have had a very good running back situations this season, as it's showing again tonight. Leif Hansen for a tie ball game. The kick is up, and it is good. 21-21. The Chiefs have tied this ball game back up, but the defense still has to show out. They're going to need another stop to try to give the Chiefs the lead.
But, you know, we were talking about momentum, maybe thinking about switching to the other sideline, going into halftime, and I see no reason why that wouldn't be happening here. And one thing I do know is now you got that Sequoyah band going, you hear that student section, and Sequoyah came out and they very quickly quieted that River Ridge student section.
Yeah, as you see a lot of them, well, you really can't see them, but some of them heading down over towards the concourse now, but not as loud as they were that entire first half.
Not quite.
And you're starting to hear just a little bit more of that Sequoyah band. I don't know how well you can hear it on the broadcast, but from on the complete opposite side of the stadium and up above the press box, we can hear them pretty loud from over here. So 5:46 to go in the third, a time-consuming drive for the Chiefs. A lot of running on that one. Hansen kicking off from the 40, and he knocks this one out of bounds. No hope of returning for Andrew Rowe. And River Ridge will start from the 20, and they're going to need an offensive drive here just to equalize what the Chiefs have done on their last two. Last drive, the run game was not working that well. They're going to still set up in that 2 running back formation, but I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take a shot on that one-on-one coverage with Benji Smith. But no, they hand it off to Pugh instead. He'll get about 5 yards. As the junior running back gets 5 yards on the carry. 2nd and 5 is where they'll set up again the 2 running back formation. Eventually you'll have to think that they'll send them both out and use them as go routes, but nope. This time quarterback keeper Lockerman trying to get away Can't extend for more than 5 yards, or sorry, can't extend for more than 6 yards, but gets enough for a first.
And another big tackle there from Asa Goings.
Yeah, great job just stopping any more negative gain there. Or sorry, positive gain for River Ridge. 1st and 10 from the 30. Handoff this time to Camden Cox. And he goes nowhere. 1 yard gain, 2nd and 9. As River Ridge is trying to run this ball. Have yet to throw it so far this drive. They've gotten the first from running. We'll see when they decide to take their shot.
And, you know, obviously they have a lot of faith in their run game, but they're getting stuffed play after play, so it might be time to start thinking about throwing the ball here pretty soon.
It's Pugh again. He gets a nice gain of about 7. So 3rd and 1, and in a dangerous position. They could just try to run this one up the middle for a first, and I think that's what they're setting up to do. The Chiefs only running one-man coverage, going for the QB sneak, and he might have been stopped. They're going to give him the yardage. Looks like both refs in 2 different spots. We'll see where they line this one up. But this one could be close. Nope. They're going to move the chains for a first. They won't bring on the chain gang for a measurement. They'll say it's a first down. And the quick change in play, the QB sneak works out. River Ridge get another first down. Clock ticking away in this 3rd quarter. Lockerman throwing outside over to Pugh, and Drew Williams knocks him off his feet, but not after gaining about 5 yards. And the slow yard gains for River Ridge are working in favor so far. 2nd and 5 now.
And looking even further than that, the fact they're advancing the ball, they're eating a lot of time off the clock in what's been a game where points have been relatively hard to come by for both of these teams.
River Ridge trying to claim that Michael Fountain crossed the line, but refs not giving in. They get back centered. It's Camden Cox on the carry, and he falls just short of a first. And again, it's 3rd and short. 3rd and 1. We could see that same QB sneak play again. Changing out some personnel. Play clock down to 15. They're still looking for their play call. 9 seconds now. They're going to have to snap this ball quick. They do. Handoff. Pugh gets the first. Falls forward for more. It's 1st and 10. And the clock keeps moving. And they might be able to close out this 3rd quarter on this drive.
It certainly seems that way, and they've had the ball for roughly 7 minutes so far.
I would say 7 minutes is what I was going to say. They have just been running up this field. Drive started at the 20, and in 7 minutes, have only gotten about 30 so yards. Again, run up the middle, and Camden Cox doesn't go anywhere. Micah Pugh has been the one really gaining those yardages for the Knights, and Camden Cox just hasn't really found his rhythm coming into the 2nd half.
He hasn't, but, you know, that's another benefit that we don't often talk about of having these 2 good running backs is you work one of them through a half and they get a little tired, their legs become a little more stiff, and then you've got another guy with fresher legs ready to go right behind him.
River Ridge back out of the snap. Lockerman still in that shotgun formation with both his running backs on his side. It's Pugh this time. And again, stopped near the line of scrimmage. He gets a short gain, but now the Chiefs set up a 3rd and 6. This is the better situation for them. This is where they want to be. You enter into the range where you kind of have to force River Ridge to maybe look at a pass, and that's when you can get your incompletion. We'll see if they decide to run a play or if they'll let this one go. Enough time on the play clock for it to dwindle down until the quarter ends. They might try to get him to jump. 6 seconds to go. And they'll let this one run towards the end of the quarter. And we have a tie ball game going into the 4th.
And, you know, River Ridge will start the 4th quarter here with a 3rd and long, which is just commonly referred to as the hardest play in football to have to be forced to run. And because it's a pass-first situation, offense knows that, defense knows that. But it'll be interesting to see what River Ridge comes up with here, because they have been a run-heavy team, and they possessed the ball for about 8 minutes in that quarter to end the 3rd quarter. And this 4th quarter shaped up to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. We are in for a treat. 21-21. One of the closest games we've had since the opening one of the season for Sequoyah. The defense put River Ridge in a tough situation, barely out of field goal range. You might be in go for it on 4th down as well. So you could see 2 runs here and just hope that your run game works instead of having to force the pass, because Will Bally in pregame wasn't necessarily drilling them from this range. Third and 6. Same formation. River Ridge disengage. Look back towards the sideline. Here's the snap now. It's Pugh. He might have got it. It's exactly on the line. It's short. And it's 4th down. In no man's land, River Ridge have a 4th and very, very short.
And, you know, in a game this close and 4th and inches moving into enemy territory, I say this is 4-down territory.
It has to be. You're in the spot where you can't necessarily guarantee 3 points, and a punt that goes out, you can't guarantee to pin that punt inside the 10 where you'd want it to be. It's just such a risk where if you mess up that punt just the slightest bit, instead of it being a pinning them at the 10, they're all the way back at the 20, and that's just not what you want.
And you only move them back about, in this case, 15 to 17-ish yards from where they would be if you go for it on 4th down and don't quite convert.
Yeah, and you're still in a decent position where if you do turn the ball over on 4th, you're not in a bad spot. This isn't like, oh yes, guaranteed points. They're measuring this one actually. And it's just shy, as we said up here in the booth. River Ridge keeping their offense on the field. You're going to expect a run. I would expect a run. Play clocks starting back up again. River Ridge to the line. QB sneak attempt. And the pile moves due to some extra help from the running backs. And it's a 1st down for River Ridge. The close 4th down turns into a 1st. closing in on the red zone at the 29-yard line. More play clock and games clock being killed right now by this offense. Chiefs can't figure out how to just stop 4 runs, as that's all we've seen this drive. Still no passes, but they'll try one here. It's a deep shot, and it's no good. Benji Smith and Asa Goings locked down Arden Redmond in the end zone and knocked that one away.
Just a great defensive read from the safety there to go help Benji out and help force an incompletion.
Second down, they go back to the run game, and Micah Pugh breaks some tackles, and he gets the first. The pass game doesn't work, so they head right back to the run game. And it's a first down once again, but Micah Pugh slow to get up here, as the rest will stop for an injury timeout. So we'll take a stop here. Injury timeout inside the 15. 1st and 10 as Pugh gets up here. And River Ridge are going to need him if they can hopefully get him back on this next play, or at least give him one play break and get him back. But he has been that running back that has moved the chains a lot. Has gotten the majority of the yardage. As whenever they hand it off to Camden Cox, they just haven't been able to get the same amount of yardage as Micah Pugh. So he'll take a break for this play. First and 10 inside the 15. River Ridge only one running back. They hand it off. And he spins himself inside the 5. Or sorry, just short of the 5. It's 2nd and 4 now.
A spin move is just something we always love to see from a running back.
They execute it well there. Again, hand it off. Camden trying to shove himself in towards the end zone, but again, marked short. This might be short of a first as well. We'll see where they call it. Yep, 3rd and short. Again, a very similar position. We have seen it a lot this drive. Micah Pugh comes back out on to the offense, as they'll bring off Andrew Hughley and replace him with Pugh. Back to full strength. Expect a run. They do. It's up the middle, and it's a touchdown for River Ridge. And River Ridge strike back after about 10 minutes later of running the clock, just run after run after run. Only one pass attempt on that entire drive.
And that's a really satisfying way to end that drive, because they take 10 minutes of time away from the game, then they put it away with 6.
Yeah, it's a great drive for River Ridge. Back 27-21 as they got a chance to extend it to a 7-point ball game. The Chiefs still with time on the clock to make something happen. A lot of it, actually, 9:50, as it is drilled 28-21. 7 points separate these teams with 10 minutes to go. This game is coming down to the wire.
But last time Sequoiah's offense was on the field, they looked pretty solid out there, so.
Yeah, they had a few penalties to help them out. Holding Campbell got in the end zone on that last drive. That was a long time ago. This offense has been well rested.
Absolutely.
They've had a lot
Absolutely.
of time to sit, review some play, review some film, and we'll see if they might have found something in that last drive that can make or break the River Ridge defense. Will Rajecki back out on kick return. He wasn't out the last time, which was about 2 quarters ago. They aim this one towards Rajecki, but it's over his head into the back of the end zone. A touchback. The Chiefs forced to take this one from the 20. $80 yards to go. Chiefs have a lot of time to work with here. They got a lot of play variability they can work with. That was a hard word for me. 1st and 10. Down 7. A big drive for Sequoyah. It's a counter play, trying to run up the middle, and not much yards gained, but still moves it up 3. 2nd and 7.
Second down and 7.
Martin in shotgun again, and look back over towards his coaches and talk to his guys. Handoff Will. He breaks a few tackles just short of the first. 3rd and 2. And River Ridge force another 3rd down. And another big opportunity for this River Ridge defense. But again, Sequoyah needs something. They've looked to Maddox Waller on their last few 3rd downs. Martin controlling his line. Handoff. He falls forward for a first. 1st and 10, clock stays moving. 8:22. Now back up to a 1st down at the 30. Their playbook opens back up here. He'll make a little movement, make some adjustments. Martin throwing. He finds Darling on the connection, crosses the 50, and he flips the field. Refs mark him down at the 45.
And that right there is just a well-designed play. Get your star wide receiver and Brooks Darling open for a nice, easy catch and a big yards after catch gain. And I feel like they called that play at a good time, too, because it's been primarily for both teams who can run the ball better, and then Sequoyah mixing it up a little bit with a beautiful passing play right there.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't see the run game working. You gotta switch, and you gotta be able, and you gotta be willing to make those changes. It works well there for the Chiefs on the River Ridge 45. Martin again changing some plays. Confident in his play call. It's a counter to Darling, and he gets taken down for no gain. Stays 2nd and 10. And again, run play doesn't necessarily work there. Maybe they'll try again, see if they can find someone deep down the field. I mean, Maddox Waller, he's been able to get open when they send him out. Maybe expect him to break off of that line. Or maybe Jack Ripley on this near side here hasn't been targeted in a minute. Martin rolling out. That's exactly what he's looking for. It's Ripley on the sideline, and it's a toe tap catch. First down, Sequoyah. And they move the chains again and stop the clock.
Passing game starting to find some rhythm here.
Yep, they look back to Jack Ripley. Hasn't been involved in a bit. And he makes his first target of the fourth. Well worth it. Handoff, Will Rajecki, and he moves the defender, and he falls forward, but just shy of the first. You might have thought they would have given it to him after the contact, but they mark him short, just a yard. Second and short, and again, this is your time to go deep.
It is.
You have Will in the backfield on that third down, just in your pocket, just in case you need it. What looks to be some man-to-man coverage on this near side. If one of your guys can beat him, take the shot downfield.
No time like a second and short.
But none of that happens. Rajecki instead runs for the first.
Number 3, Rajecki, and tackle by number 32, Matthew Burkett. First and only 10 for Sequoyah.
Clock moving, 1st and 10, 6 minutes to go in this ball game. River Ridge are up 7. You're starting to get into the time where you don't want to give River Ridge too much time on the clock, and you also still need a score. So you got to manage to kill as much time as you can with not compromising your play calling. As Martin keeps this one, tries to get over towards the left side, but is brought down only after a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Clock still moving, and now you're starting to get into that range where it will be hard for, if River Ridge do get the ball back and the Chiefs score, River Ridge get the ball back, Sequoyah probably won't see the ball again unless their defense can force a turnover.
And if you look at the last drive, I would agree with that statement.
They're going to try to kill as much time on the clock as they can, and refs call this play off and a timeout for River Ridge, as they just want that clock to stop, as they want to try to get as much time as they can if Sequoyah does score.
Oh, absolutely. If I'm Sequoyah, I'm obviously trying to force the passing situations for River Ridge. Their passing game hasn't been nearly as efficient tonight as their running game has. We've only seen a handful of passing attempts from their quarterback tonight.
And none of them have been that successful.
They haven't. They really haven't, but their running game has been incredibly successful. But you look at their last drive, it took them almost 10 minutes to get across the end zone line.
Yeah,
So
their one rushing attempts have been well, but they've worked over a significant time. And if they do get the ball back, they're not going to have that time. They need those plays now, and they're going to need them quick. And that's why you got to look at the pass game. But as we said, the pass game has not worked so far tonight.
Sequoia's coverage has been sticky, and I feel like that's been a big cause of why their quarterbacks had some trouble. And the pass rush has been pretty intense from Sequoia's front men too, so Sequoia's defense really has played a very good game despite letting up 28 points on that scoreboard.
River Ridge with 2 timeouts left. Sequoyah going to try to either take out all those timeouts or take off as much time as they possibly can. As we set back up for the 2nd and 9. No players on our near side. It's a handoff to Will. He's escaping on the outside. Falls forward into a defender. It's 3rd and short again. And again in a scary position. 3rd and 4 is what they'll call it. And it's a big down. River Ridge starting to get loud, and Martin forced to take a timeout. River Ridge homestands do their job well. 2 timeouts remain for Sequoyah as they'll talk over this play.
You know, once again, they find themselves in a 3rd and, we'll call it 3rd and medium this time. Not quite long, but not quite short either. And, you know, My favorite plays is always when they scheme something cheeky up to the tight end, up the seam. And it's worked tonight with Maddox Waller. But 3rd and 4 leaves a lot of options on the table with the talent that Sequoyah has on their offense.
Yeah, and a 3rd and 4 this late in the game, you can't settle for a field goal.
You cannot.
You have to run this ball. And I think if you just go back-to-back handoffs to Will, you have a good chance of getting that first. And you kill a lot more time off this clock. And even if you don't, you force River Ridge to use at least one of their 2 timeouts. And that gives a lot more wiggle room for the Sequoyah team to work, as if they run this ball and they barely get to the first down marker, then they set up another 1st and 10, not 1st and goal. And they're put in a great position. River Ridge coming back out, looking to make a stop. Here comes Sequoyah as well. We'll see what Coach Jack Mine has decided to do. A similar formation. A lot of derivative plays that they can run with this. As the refs are going to take a minute to talk something out. And they'll now get set in their positions. Here's the 3rd and 4. Handoff, Rajecki. And he might be short. He's marked short, but they still get a few yardage out of it, and it's 4th down.
This is a big play for Sequoyah right here. I'd even go so far as to call this the most important play of this game for this offense.
4th and 2. What will Sequoyah do? Martin, QB keeper, reaches for a first. And they might mark him short. River Ridge think they have it. Sequoyah says they have it. This might call for the chain gang to come out again. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They're bringing the chains out. This is pretty much for the game here. And here come the chains. And it's short. The mark is short. And River Ridge turned the ball over. The River Ridge offense takes the field with 3:44 on the clock. Sequoyah with 2 timeouts. They're going to need a 3 and out. A first down could kill this game for the Knights. They hand it off on the first drive. He's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Clock stays moving, 2nd and 10. There's no 2-minute warning in high school, so the only clock stoppages that they can get are an incomplete pass and their 2 timeouts. But this 2nd and 10 is going to help them a little bit. Again, another narrow formation here from River Ridge. We've seen it a lot tonight. Only one back in the backfield. Again, hand it off. Trying to get outside. Has enough for a first, and Camden Cox running down the sideline, stays in bounds. And the clock keeps rolling. A first down from here could mark the end of this game. You're going to expect River Ridge to just run this ball out. Try to go for one more first. Only 2 timeouts on the Chiefs. And even if you manage to get the ball back, it's going to be less than a minute drill. Handoff. Camden Cox stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, but he kills some more time on the clock. And the Chiefs will use their timeout. With 2:09, 1 timeout to go. Sequoyah defense got to draw up something.
Well, the advantage that Sequoiah's defense has is they know it's more than likely a run. And they've been able to stop the run fairly effectively all night, minus a couple of big plays, like the very first play with the 80-yard touchdown and what we just saw on this drive.
2nd and 12. 3-back formation is back for the Knights. A lot in the box. Pugh trying to get on the outside is stuffed. Stays the same, 3rd and 11. Timeout Sequoyah. 2:07 on the clock, and it's 3rd down. Only 40 more seconds can be taken off this clock. River Ridge need a first, and 11 rushing yards is a lot to ask for them.
No, but hey, there's still some hope for the Sequoyah team.
Yeah, a lot of time still on the board if they can just get this stop.
And once again, you'd have to expect a run here to...
Yeah, you got to try to kill the clock. I mean, even if you do throw it, because then you leave too many valuable seconds. River Ridge has been unexpected so far tonight. Refs calling the Knights back out. They've had some time to draw up this play. Again, Camden Cox and Micah Pugh, we said their name all night. In the backfield again, same exact formation. It just depends on who's going to get the handoff. It's instead a QB keeper. He throws it out to Micah Pugh. He goes, not enough, is thrown backwards. Marked down with 12 seconds. Or sorry, marked down at the 4 for 4th and 12. And the defense makes a stop, forces the punt crew on.
You know, that's just a great job from Sequoiah's defense to give their offense about roughly a minute and 10 seconds left here to try to make some magic happen. And we've seen it before.
Yep, you're going to need to get out of bounds. You're going to need to stop the clock a lot. And River Ridge is going to kill this clock all the way to the end. And I would expect them to just take their timeout here at the 1. Exactly what they do. And 1:16 is what Sequoyah has to work with. A lot riding on this drive. Rajecki's going to need a good punt return here. In an incredible game coming down to the wire.
It is, and both teams, you can just tell they've both played their hearts out and leaving it all on the field here tonight. But obviously, with how this game has gone, either one of these teams would be extremely disappointed to have to head home tonight without securing the win.
River Ridge set to punt. Will Rajecki in the backfield to return. He's set up at the 25, walking back towards the 20 now. Expecting a long punt from Will Berry. And play is called dead before it even gets started. And there's a flag there in the back. Might be a legal formation? Never mind, they're going to wave the flag. And River Ridge get a free repunt. Barry going to want to try to knock this one out of bounds. Not give Rajecki any chance of returning it. And almost blocked there from Drew Williams. Rajecki calls the fair catch, and he's stopped at the 14-yard line. 1:08, 8 seconds of hang time. There's a lot riding on this drive for Sequoyah. You've got to look at the pass game. Brooks Darling and Jack Ripley and Maxwell are going to be your main targets here. I'll be surprised if they do decide to run. I'm guessing Will Rajecki's going to run back, halfback wheel route maybe. First and 10 from the 14. Martin scanning, running out of the pocket. Throws to Ripley on the sideline. Clock moves. There's a flag. Flag in the backfield over near the quarterback, and it's holding on Sequoyah. Eight seconds get taken off. It's five yards from the spot of the catch. So 1st and 5 is where they'll set up, pretty much in the same exact spot. Oh, sorry, never mind. They're going to push this back. Could be a 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. And now exactly 1 minute. Pushing the back even farther. Now at the 7-yard line. Sequoyah have to throw here. Martin has to escape his pocket, and another flag. He throws it deep over towards the sideline. It's caught by Waller, but another flag. It's holding on Sequoyah again. And another big play taken away by a flag.
And this is just a really, really bad time for these mistakes to start re-emerging.
Resulted the penalty and half the distance to the goal. Will be first down.
It's first and long again. Jack Ripley's big play gets taken away by a flag. Maddox Waller's then gets taken away by a flag.
And quite possibly the worst part of it all is there's 20 less seconds on that clock.
Yeah. Chiefs again, first and long. We go again. Martin throws it out to Darling, trying to get him on the run. He slips over towards the left side. They have to go quickly. 2nd and 10. 10 seconds off the clock. Chiefs will clock it. And there's a flag. Intentional grounding?
I don't know if I quite understand that one.
So since he bobbled the snap, it makes it intentional grounding. So we go back more yardage, more time killed off the clock. 2nd and long again, only 32 seconds to go. Martin rolling out of the pocket, has to look deep. He's hit on the throw.
And he's down and he's not getting up.
And it's 4th down as the trainers come out. Martin gets up.
Flag.
24 seconds now. 4th and long. And this could very well be the last play of the game. Chiefs looking to stay alive. Martin looking hurt. Under shotgun. Dropping out of his own pocket. He finds Rajecki, and he's brought down. And that's going to do it. River Ridge upset Sequoyah 28-21.
A tough loss for Sequoyah here, as River Ridge will likely advance to 5-1, and Sequoyah will fall to 5-1.
River Ridge extend their whole winning streak. It's been now 2 years. Their last loss was 2 years against Sequoyah. So they get their get back this year. 28-21 as their offense comes back onto the field for 1st and 10 from the 14. And we'll have one last stoppage here. This is the same kind of feeling from last year's Sprayberry game. The Chiefs are going to have to go perfect the rest of the season to try and turn this loss around. They'll be home next week for our homecoming game against Lassiter. Or sorry, not next week. We're on break. So it'll be 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. October the 3rd, homecoming versus Lassiter. Then the Chiefs go away that week after against a strong Woodstock side. Woodstock has had a pretty good, solid season so far. That game's away. Then they finish the year with Pope, and then away at Creekview. The Chiefs are going to need to go 4-1. The good thing is that they already handed Sprayberry a loss in the region bracket. So this will give everybody a chance to have a loss in region, and River Ridge get the win at home 28-21, upsetting Sequoyah. And an incredible game from both sides of the field.
Agreed. And as we were talking about earlier, you know, both teams really, they came to play tonight on both sides, and they really didn't leave it all out on the field. It was a messy game from both teams, but there's a lot of passion on that football field tonight from both sides, Jake.
Yeah, a lot to work on for both sides. The run game from River Ridge worked very well tonight, and we saw a mix of both from Sequoyah. Couldn't get the job done as they fall to 5-1, 2-1 in region, and River Ridge advanced to 2-1 in region. But that does it from River Ridge Stadium. I've been Jake Jara, joined with Maddox Stewart. We hope you have a great rest of your night, and thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.
Good night.